Thank you for choosing Kingly Love. This is Frederick. Here we focus on positivity, hope, and most importantly, loving and encouraging words. So, the question of the day is: should a woman date a guy that has no job? This is pretty interesting, guys. And before we get started, I give you guys a few moments to please like and subscribe. Go ahead. Okay, so we'll get started now. Let's take a look at this. It's going to be quite interesting. Hopefully, this says something of substance that's going to be meaningful and helpful to some of us, right? Let's go ahead.
Or marry a man knowing that he's unemployed.
I've dated like every musician there is. That's kind of the same. So yeah, I feel like there's a difference.
Okay.
There's a difference though between not having a job and having a goal.
Yeah.
And if you have a goal, then not having a paycheck is okay. But if you have no goal,
No.
Short
No.
period of time.
Yeah.
fine.
No, I started modeling when I was 17, so I made a lot of money really fast. So my peers, guys that I would go out with, weren't making the kind of money that I was. So then it was okay, but now as a grown woman, hell no.
Right? She just said something quite interesting here. When she was younger, it was okay. But now that she's grown, she doesn't have the time to, be the one that's going to be providing for someone else, you know. So I guess she's right? After once you know what you want, you don't want to go backward. So I guess that makes sense. Let's keep on moving forward.
No, ever. You have to have a job.
Remember that you have to have a job if you want to be with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
From a young girl, my mother always said a man needs to love you a little bit more, and a man needs to get his tush off.
Okay. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that in a relationship, the man should love the woman a little bit more, or it should be vice versa? All right, then. Let's keep on
Off the
moving
couch
forward.
and get out there. I don't care what he's doing.
Yes.
He could be flipping whoppers. He could be picking flowers.
Yeah.
Women are attracted to ambitious men.
Yes.
Show me that you're
Okay.
moving.
Yes.
I want to see
Yes.
you move.
Right.
But head
Yes.
somewhere, not the couch.
Yeah.
No.
Let your life have.
Now, I'll ask this question. Do you guys think that someone who's working is necessarily someone who's ambitious? I know people that have been in the same job for 20 years. They made a little bit more money because they've been there for a longer time, but does that necessarily mean that they're ambitious? All right, this is the mistake that we have to avoid at all costs, right? You don't want to stay stagnant. So let's keep moving forward.
Some purpose. It's got to have some kind of merit and purpose, and you know what I mean, drive. Even if you have a goal, like if you're aspiring to be a rapper or some sort of, singer, whatever, musician, whatever it is, like you got to make some money.
No, you got to get up in
you
the
gotta
morning
have
and get out of the house.
So you got to make some money.
So
I'm
you're
going to
not.
find you sexier if you're not in the house.
Yeah.
I'd
love to watch.
that that right there, I don't think she should have said that. What's the whole point of being in a relationship with someone and then you find the person sexy when they are not present? If you are one of these women that think like that, you you have to change, okay? Thinking your partner is sexy when he's absent, that's not beneficial to you in a long-term relationship at all. You have to be happy to be near that person that you've chose to be in a relationship with. Okay, otherwise you'll find yourselves in this type of issues that we had during the pandemic, where people had to stay together in a home and then they ended up not liking each other. So, all right, let's keep moving forward.
My man,
Don't get
Turn on.
It's a turn
Turn on.
What about a man? Is it important for a woman to have a job? How do you feel about that?
Not for me.
Not for you.
it was never a requirement of mine. I was raised a little bit different because my father always taught me that that's your job.
To take
Your
care
job
of
is to take care of a woman and a family. That's all I ever knew. But I'm old.
Look how she's clapping now. She's happy, right? They're happy. Ah, well, I don't know, man. This is interesting. This question of equality. Do people really want to be equal? Right? I'm independent. I have all my things together, but yet I want a man to take care of me. But to answer the question, I think that it's not so important for a man, right, to want a woman who's necessarily working, right? Because a woman is able to bring many things to the table outside of her financial assistance, right? So it's not so much of a big deal or deal breaker for a guy that stays with a woman that does not work. So I think he was absolutely right. Let's keep moving forward.
Old school, you know what I mean? These millennials today, they have a very, very different view of it.
Absolutely.
Because I think there's so many broken families out there that I think there's not enough men out there reteaching the sons
Absolutely.
what it really is to be a man. And I
Right,
think that
that's
they're
true.
missing, and you have
Single
less
family homes
choices.
and so forth.
Well, but I also think that women want to be able to feel like they can stand on their own 2 feet too. I appreciate that you want to help me, but I want to do this on my own.
Yeah, but then we run into trouble. It's beautiful that women today are no longer in it. We're running the world.
Yeah, we are.
I'm out.
Oh, wow. Now, can you imagine as a man, you invite a woman to your show, and then she looks you dead in the eyes and she says, women are running the world. Oh, let's reverse the roles for a second. You, as a lady, you invite a man on your show, okay, and then the man looks you dead in the eyes and he says, men are running the world. How would you feel? I think as ladies, you have to try to avoid these things, right? If you know it's not going to bring peace or it's going to create some tension in the conversation, there's no need to say this thing, right? I think there's absolutely no need to say women are running the world or the men saying the men are running the world. All of these things are going to create more division. The hope is to create unity. And, obviously, when he's asking this question, he's not asking these questions so that she can boast about how she feels like women are better than men. It was just simply asking the conversation of the question rather to, further the conversation that they were having. But, it's something to avoid. If you are having a conversation with someone, don't throw out something that's not going to be helpful to the conversation, especially when it's going to create a divide, right? Let's keep moving forward.
But when it comes,
And look
I
at people are
find that when
clapping
it
for
comes
that.
to being that ambitious and going out there and bringing home the bacon, there's a time for a woman, she's got to lean back and let the man be the man. It's about leaning back and also playing that role
Finding
of
that balance.
that happy.
It's a hard
But
balance.
if we're running out of guys that learned how to be that, what are we doing? We're
Okay,
just
but
sitting
let me
around
ask you a
waiting now.
question, though. I understand.
You're not running out of guys to do that. I think the real question here is when does equality actually